Game 3 of the NBA Finals was a perfect microcosm of how this series has played out thus far. The Nuggets' superior talent gets them ahead in points, and the Heat's determination and outside shooting keep them hanging around. All 3 games have seen the Nuggets take sizable leads, and we can't ignore that it's a leading indicator for how these two teams match up. And the bottom line is, Denver has too much of everything: size, depth, skill, and the inevitable onslaught of destruction by the Sombor shuffler Nikola Jokic. The Heat had dabbled in Game 2 with leaving Jokic to run to Murray with both defenders off their two-man action of handoffs and ball screens. I suspect Nuggets coach Mike Malone realized how open Jokic was and wanted to be better prepared if and when the Heat tried to do it in Game 3. And I gotta say, it was a curious way to defend, but the Heat are trying everything in the kitchen sink. Early on, Murray wastes no time once he sucks in the double team, and Jokic has a long closeout to attack. There was an awful lot of contact on the drive, but no whistle, and the Heat get the stop. This strategy was definitely different than in the previous games, and Murray got 7 of his 10 assists last night by passing to the open Jokic for easy shots in the lane. Here it is again with a full double of Murray. I just can't figure out why they were so willing to leave the best player on the floor wide open on his catches, especially when it appears Gabe Vincent didn't get the memo, blowing his rotation and allowing the Jokic staple, the off-foot runner. This high post split action killed the Heat defense in Game 2. Watch how they invert this screen as KCP initially sets up to be the cutter, but then pivots around to be the screener. Murray gets the clean catch and invites another aggressive double team. This isn't bad, except it left Lowry having to switch onto Jokic down low. Great scram switch by Butler to get him out of there, but it's still a mismatch. And you can't complain about this shot if you're Denver's bench, but the point-blank shot doesn't go down. As the Nuggets started grabbing control of the game, they continually ran it with Jokic popping to the three-point line. With this much room, he has his choice of what he wants to do, and with Bam worried about the three-point shot, his shot fake gets him right to the rim for the finger roll easily over Kevin Love. You can see the Nuggets offense just hunting for the double team of Murray, as these two run it over and over until the Heat relent and just switch it. No one helps poor little Gabe Vincent out, and Jokic barely notices he's there on the runner. A happy accident for the Nuggets as they found the Heat screwing up their switch, essentially doubling the cutter like they had been doing with the ball screens and handoffs, and this time, with Strus coming over, it was just too much room to resist knocking down the 3-ball. With Jokic knowing they're going to blast Murray, he waves KCP out of the way, sets the screen, then waits all by himself for the pass back. Notice how Murray gets in the air in a jump shot form, completely fooling Bam, who had no idea a pass was made until Jokic was already snowplowing his way down the lane for the running hook shot, an insurmountable 16-point lead. Christian Braun was the talk of this game as he came off the bench to score 15 points in 19 minutes, most of them in a crucial section of the game where the Nuggets went from up 10 to leading by 21 points. The Heat switched up to a 1-3-1 zone to try and negate the high post catches by Jokic, so he just finds the weak spot at the low block. But check how Jeff Green gets underneath the weak side forward and screens him to allow a runway for Braun to cut. Jokic isn't going to miss this opening as Braun throws it down. The perils of switching back and forth between man and zone is that the first possession back to man might lead to screwing up the matchups. After a made basket, no less, Bam is gesturing to the bench, wondering what defense they're in, and despite plenty of time for him to get Jimmy out of there and pick up Jokic, that doesn't happen. As a result, Butler isn't used to defending the pinch post action, forgetting that the ball is the most important thing as Braun gets a layup. And then late in the third, with the Heat back in their 1-3-1 zone, Jokic again finds that soft spot in the low post. Zeller comes over okay, but it leaves Robinson stuck with a 2-on-1 half-court fast break on his hands. Easy pass, easy shot. Another happy accident for the Nuggets as Bruce Brown gets absorbed by the inside ball screen and loses track of his man. This distracts Jimmy enough to make him think it's ever acceptable to throw a 22-foot pass laterally across the court. Brown reads Jimmy's eyes the whole way and turns it into a pick six for a demoralizing 19-point lead at the end of the third. We've never seen two teammates combine to average this many assists per game in a playoff series before, and it's a testament to how well the Nuggets' offensive machine is working. Murray in particular looks great out there, and it's partly because of how well he keeps his beard trimmed, and you could get that same precision with Manscaped's Beard Hedger Pro Kit. We kinda know how well Murray keeps his balls trimmed, so it just makes sense he'd make a great first impression with his facial hair. The Beard Hedger trimmer has a powerful 7,200 RPM motor and titanium-coated T-blade, which can cut through the thickest of hair in a single stroke. Whether you prefer a 5 o'clock shadow or a lion's mane, you can choose from 20 different hair cutting lengths with a zoom wheel that uses only one guard. Now you can have a dedicated trimmer for your face and one for your nether region. So head over to manscaped.com today to get 20% off plus free shipping when you use my code BBALL. I mean, BBALL is really easy to remember when we're talking about Manscaped products, right? In my Game 2 video, I showed you the Heat's strategy for saving their best offense for later in the game so the defense doesn't get a chance to get used to it. Interestingly, they switched tactics and went right at it from the start, with the handoff into pocket pass that gets Bam making the creative dribble, gather, jump all at the same time reverse. Before last night, the Heat stayed away from Bam initiating out top in the first half, but here he is directing traffic, and watch just how the threat of his roll to the hoop freezes Jokic at the lane line, directly opening up the three-point shot for Love. The best part of their offense is clearly when Bam sets a solid ball screen and then finds the open space for the pocket pass back. Jokic has to stop the ball and can't recover in time to stop this 12-footer from going down. While they didn't score on every one of these two-man games with Bam, you can see that the quality of shot dramatically goes up when they get into it. And when they track down the long rebound, they waste little time running another inside ball screen that not only lures two defenders to the ball, but Bam's roll sucks Murray into the paint, getting Vincent open for the catch and shoot, and this time it swishes. Perhaps they went to it too early and ran it too many times, as the promise of this action started to lose its shine as the game wore on. I love when they quickly get into the give and go, catching Gordon too high and Bam cutting behind the defense, but Lowry throws it too hard and too far. But they still got good stuff from it. Just watch how Braun stays at the midline to guard against the Bam roll to the basket, leaving his man Caleb Martin to jog to the corner for the one more pass and wide open three. In the third quarter, the Heat hung around for a while with more pocket passing to Bam, with Jimmy taking his sweet time and Jokic going for a strip on the 10-footer. Again, the shot generation from this action yields high-quality looks consistently, as Jokic won't step up and Murray is 2 steps behind, but Love can't hit the wide-open jumper. But then it just started sputtering. Murray shows great effort to spin underneath the ball screen at the exact moment Strus thought Bam was going to roll. The rest of this possession didn't flow well, and Strus misses the contested midi. Bam got slower at rolling after the ball screen, giving the defense a little more time to recover. Nice pocket pass for the layup, but Jokic was protecting the rim well all night long. Watch how Braun goes underneath the handoff with some physicality, slowing Bam's slip to the basket. Now, even though he's open, Braun had enough time to sniff it out and strip it on the way up. The slip of the pitch to Robinson pulls Murray over, opening what should be an open jumper from the foul line. Incredible effort by Jokic to recover and actually block this shot out of his hand. And this time, the Nuggets catch the Heat with terrible spacing in the corner, allowing Braun to ignore his man while these two defenders can defend these three. Bam tries to find his alignment after he already jumped and it bricks off the back rim. I think the biggest fear the Heat should have is with the shooting of Michael Porter Jr. He's proven to be an elite shooter from behind the arc, and a quick glance at the quality of shots he's been getting means it's only a matter of time until he starts knocking down some shots. He's currently 3 for 19 in the finals and had been 41% in the first 3 rounds. So when these shots start going down, may the basketball gods have mercy on the Heat's soul, as I predict a massive blowout when that happens. The Heat have one last shot at coming up with something out of the box to overcome this Nuggets team. I'd play more zone and get back to their 2-3 alignment that worked pretty well in Game 2. And I'd stop letting Jokic score so easily one-on-one in the paint. Make someone else beat you. But with how good this Nuggets team is from top to bottom, that someone else is just too good.